Good morning, children. Today I will teach metals and non-metals. Already the properties of metals, non-metals, and metalloids we have been discussed. But we started their properties, means chemical properties, reaction with oxygen and reaction with water. Two properties already we discussed. From third one we will discuss today. But let you all see, children, a reaction with oxygen means when metals treated with oxygen they forms their oxides, and their oxides are basic in nature. What type of oxides? Basic oxides. There means basic oxides when they dissolve in water they gives bases having pH 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 means more than 7. So suppose sodium, potassium, these are very reactive metals. Sodium, potassium reacts directly with oxygen to form their oxides, and sodium oxide, magnesium oxide, potassium oxides when get dissolved in water they forms potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, and these hydroxides are basic in nature. It is okay. Now in case of non-metals, you know, carbon is non-metal, sulfur is non-metal, phosphorus is non-metal, chlorine is non-metal. I mean non-metals when reacts with oxygen they forms acidic oxide. Suppose carbon treated with oxygen, then it gives carbon dioxide, and when carbon oxide get dissolved in water it gives carbonic acid, H2CO3. What it gives? H2CO3. And sulfur when treated with oxygen it gives sulfur dioxide and trioxide, and that sulfur trioxide further reacts with water to give sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Means metal oxides treated with water gives always bases, and non-metal oxides when treated with oxygen followed by water treatment they provide acids. Now the second reaction, second chemical property, reaction of metals with water. There are some reactive metals which directly reacts with cold water like potassium and sodium, and they releases hydrogen. Okay, when potassium or sodium treated with cold water they form their oxides and releases hydrogen. These reactions are exothermic reactions, means they also provide enormous heat. So that is why sometimes they catches fire. Ultimately sodium, potassium like metals which are very reactive are kept in kerosene oil. It is okay. So but in case of non-metals, children, you know, always remember this point, non-metal have no reaction with water, means non-metals do not react with water. Suppose carbon, you haven't treat directly by your observation, taking a piece of coal, when you treat it with water there will be no reaction. It is okay. When you take sulfur and dissolve in water there is no reaction, means non-metals have no reaction with water. Metals have reaction with water, and especially cold water and hot water, iron, copper, and few of the other metals which react with superheated steam, means hot water, and highly reactive metals reacts with cold water, and few of the metals have no reaction with water like silver, gold, even these metals have no reaction with water at any cost. So ultimately now the third property which we have to discuss today, a reaction with dilute acid. Children, you know, metal when reacts with dilute sulfuric acid, dilute nitric acid, dilute hydrochloric acid, they provides respective salt and releases hydrogen gas. Suppose twice Na plus H2SO4, Na2SO4 and H2. Mg plus 2HNO3, MgNO3 whole twice NH2, twice Na plus 2HNO3 treated with nitric acid, 2NaNO3 sodium nitrate and H2. Means when metals, reactive metals treated with dilute acid, they provide respective metallic salt and releases hydrogen. But in case of non-metals, non-metal do not react with acid. Means non-metals have no reaction with dilute acids. It is okay. Now the fourth point you need to know here: reaction with salt solution. Salt solution like copper sulfate, calcium sulfate, these are the salt solutions. So when salt solution, aqueous solution of salt treated with the metals, then you should know the reactivity factor. If the treated metal is reactive, then the metal associated in salt, okay, then there will be reaction. Suppose copper sulfate aqueous solution when treated with zinc metal. Since zinc is more reactive than copper, that is why zinc will displace this copper and will form zinc sulfate solution, and copper will be separated. Displacement reaction will take place. But if the reactivity of metal which is treated with that metallic salt solution is less reactive, then there will be no reaction. Suppose this is the aqueous solution of calcium sulfate, children. Okay, this is the aqueous solution of calcium sulfate, and when this is treated with copper metal, since copper metal is less reactive as compared to that of the calcium metal, it is okay. So this copper will not displace calcium from calcium sulfate. Ultimately, there will be no reaction at all, right? So in case of non-metals, there are non-metallic salts. Suppose sodium bromide. In the same fashion, there is, if the non-metal which is treated with the aqueous solution of non-metal, and this is non-metallic salt sodium bromide. Sodium bromide aqueous solution when treated with chlorine, it gives NaCl plus Br2. Means chlorine is more reactive than bromine. That is why this is displaced. This reaction is quite similar in case of salt solution treatment with metals and salt solution treatment with non-metals. Quite similar reactions. These are depends upon the reactivity of treatment. Here chlorine is more reactive, that's why it displaces bromine, and here zinc is more reactive than copper, that displaces zinc. Now at fifth position, we have to discuss reaction with chlorine. Means metals, especially all the metals, when treated with chlorine, they form their respective salts. Very simple, twice Na plus Cl2, 2 NaCl. And what type of these salts are? These salts are ionic salts. These salts are ionic salts. And these ionic salts are formed when chlorine, bromine, iodine, such type of highly reactive, electronegative non-metals treated with the highly strong electropositive metals. Ultimately, there is a formation of ionic salts. In case of non-metals, there is also treatment of chlorine gives the derivative. Suppose hydrogen is the non-metal. When treated with chlorine, it gives 2HCl. Means non-metals also often reacts with chlorine to form their particular compounds. At very last, children, you know reaction with hydrogen. What happens when metal reacts with hydrogen? When hydrogen treated with the metals, especially sodium, potassium, which are very reactive. Highly reactive metals when treated with hydrogen, they forms sodium hydride, potassium hydride, respective hydride. Means when they are treated with calcium, there will be the formation of calcium hydride. These hydrides, in these hydrides, hydrogen is the negative part. Means the oxidation state of hydrogen is, charge on hydrogen will be minus, and Na plus H minus. So these hydrides are ionic hydrides where hydrogen passes -1 charge, and when non-metals like sulfur treated with hydrogen, it gives hydrogen sulfide. Means non-metals when treated with hydrogen, they provide compounds, even metals, highly reactive metals when treated with hydrogen, they provide hydrides which are ionic in nature. Metal is a positive charge and hydrogen is negative charge. These hydrides are in ionic nature. So ultimately these properties, chemical properties, 6 properties, children, you remember, these are helpful for you. Means reaction with water, reaction with oxygen, reaction with water, reaction with dilute acids, reaction with salt solution, and reaction with chlorine, reaction with hydrogen. I have given the comparative study of these particular reactions of metals and non-metals, okay, in the terms of reaction with oxygen, in the terms of reaction with water, in the terms of reaction with dilute acid and salt solutions, reaction with chlorine and reaction with hydrogen. So next topic I will discuss tomorrow. Children, you go through and prepare your fair notes. Thank you very much.